First Trip to Hell. On the weekend of July 23, 2005, I saw a man, wearing a long white robe tied with a rope of the same color, walking towards where I was lying. There was a brilliant light around him as though it were radiating from him. He was wearing brown sandals. His features were like people from the Middle East, with the beautiful tan skin. His face was very kind and full of glory, but I was unable to look him in the eyes. When he spoke, his voice was tender, kind and loving, yet authoritative. Waves of love were emanating from his very being. He extended his hand to me and pulled me up from where I was lying. Suddenly I was in a beautiful, transformed body. I looked the same as I was when I was 18 years old. I was wearing a white robe tied with a white rope. Although my robe was white, the material was different from the man's robe. His robe was silky with a brilliance that I do not know how to describe. He said, in a most loving and tender voice,
"Victoria, I want you to come with me. I will show you frightening things, and I am taking you to a place where you have never been before in your whole life."
The place at which we arrived was very arid, worse than the worst desert known to man, with no sign of life in any form whatsoever. There was not a single tree or blade of grass or any living thing in sight. It was a very depressing place indeed. We came to a gate and the man turned to me and said,
"Victoria, we will enter through the gate and the things you will see will frighten and upset you, but you must rest assured that wherever I take you, you will be well protected. Just open your eyes and observe everything I will show you."
I was terrified and started to weep. I was protesting and pleaded with the man to take me back. I told him that I did not want to go into that place because I could see through the gate what was going on inside. He looked at me and said,
"Peace be with you. I am with you. We must go inside, for time is fast running out."
We entered through the gate. I cannot describe to you the horror of that place. I am convinced that there is no other place in the entire universe as bad as that place. The place was extremely large and I had the sense that it was expanding all the time. It was a place of utmost darkness and the heat of it could not be measured. It was hotter than the hottest of fires. I could not see any flames of fire or the source of the heat, but it was hot. The place was filled with flies of all sizes. In addition, there were also short, thick, black worms everywhere, climbing on everything. The worms started to climb on us and the flies were also all over us. The place was filled with the most disgusting stench. There are no words to describe the intensity of the stench in that place. The smell was almost like rotten meat, but was 100 times worse than the most decaying meat I have ever smelled in my entire life. The place was filled with the noise of wailing and gnashing of teeth, as well as of demonic, evil laughter. The worst thing about this place is that it was filled with people. There were so many people that they could not be numbered. The people were in the form of skeletons. I can say with confidence that these skeletons were humans because I recognized some of my very close relatives and people from my village. Their bones were dark gray and extremely dry. They had long sharp teeth like wild animals. Their mouths were large and wide and their tongues were long and bright red. Their hands and feet had long, thin toes and fingers with long, sharp nails. Some of them had tails and horns. There were demons mingling with the people. The demons in appearance looked like alligators and they were walking on 4 legs. They were comfortable in that environment and were constantly teasing and tormenting the humans. The noise that the demons were making was more like a celebration, as they seemed happy and carefree. They were also dancing and jumping all the time. The humans, on the other hand, looked miserable and depressed. They were in a state of helplessness and hopelessness. The noise from humans was caused by pain. They were weeping, screaming and gnashing their teeth, and were in a desperate situation of unimaginable pain and agony. The people in this place were innumerable, but I could clearly see that the vast majority of them were women. They were divided into many different groups. Even if they were in the groups, It was not possible to estimate the number of people in any single group because the groups were extremely large.